Welcome to New Day Cleveland. I'm David Moss.
And I'm Natalie Herbick, and we're going to get our hands dirty today. You like that?
I love that idea.
This is going to be exciting. We are going to take you to some of the top spots where you can learn how to DIY. We're doing it ourselves today, so from woodworking to candle making, I guarantee you there's going to be something you enjoy.
Okay, say you have a house and you want to do some home repairs or some work around the house and you don't know how. We're going to take you to a place that'll teach you how to do all that stuff. And you don't have the tools? Don't sweat it. They got a thing called the tool library. Take a look.
Home Repair Resource Center is a local agency that provides education and empowerment to homeowners and residents to keep their homes in good shape. We really want to provide the tools where homeowners feel confident and able to make repairs on their own, whether they're getting advice about contractors or doing it themselves. A group of parishioners back in 1971 really got focused on making sure they maintained the aging housing stock in Cleveland Heights, and they rallied around, grabbed donations, talked with the city, and they were able to create Home Repair Resource Center. And for 46 years, they've been a mainstay of being able to make sure that, people have a resource to go to, whether it's small repairs, large repairs, financing, and some options for some certain residents. So we're just really excited that the community continues to support our efforts.
This is the speed, and then you use these knobs here to determine the torque. Right.
4 nights a week, we have volunteer contractors come in and take time out of their day to instruct homeowners interested about doing repairs. Now, these are folks who could be interested in doing repairs on their own, or even just contracting repairs, so they know the type of conversations they need to have with the contractor so they're not taking advantage of. So for 2 hours, a lot of the classes are hands-on, where folks are able to really feel the tools and understand the work. We also offer lecture classes with broader topics such as solar panels and rehabs and things of that nature. And we have series where we do full-length long projects. We have our Women's Home How-To series, where 6 weeks where the women learn different modules such as carpentry, plumbing, electrical, as well as exteriors.
I've taken a women's power drill class, which exceeds just drilling. We used plenty of different saws, a miter saw, a circular saw. We did brick and mortar work in that class. Things that I honestly thought I would never really need to know, and now that I am a homeowner, I realized I needed to know all of these things. I wanted to buy a home, and I knew that I wanted to put stuff that I personally built in my home. That was a huge goal of mine, and I could say today that the majority of the furniture in my home I've built myself, all thanks to the Home Repair Resource Center.
We have over 1,200 tools, from your basic screwdriver all the way up to your floor sander. And these tools are a great resource. For $25 annual membership, you're able to rent any of those tools for up to 7 days, where a lot of the big box stores, you only get them for a few hours. So you can actually complete the project. You can reserve tools online, look at our tool library catalog online, and then stop in.
I built my dining room table with bench seating, and there is not a word I could really use to describe to coming home to my house and cooking a dinner and eating on my own table. It was a process, and I Craig jigged, I sawed, I sanded, I stained, all thanks to the Home Repair Resource Center.
It's been great. We've had folks come in, become first-time homeowners, see a show on television and get inspired to do it themselves. Realize that there's challenges that aren't often shown on television, and really had to dig in and learn how to get the jobs done.
People need to step out of their comfort zone and let go of the fear. I could have done any of this at any time because my father has tons of tools in his basement and he is an incredible resource, but I was afraid. I don't know what I'm doing, and on TV they make it look so easy, and honestly it really is. I mean, the Home Repair Resource Center really allowed me to step out of my comfort zone and I am an unstoppable force at this point, and it just feels so good.
Home Repair Resource Center is located in Cleveland Heights. If you want a list of all their classes, well, just go to their website.
Well, so now that we know how to fix our homes, how about maybe some redecorating, give it a new fresh look? What about with something salvaged? They will show you how to do it at Schoolhouse Salvage.
So Schoolhouse Salvage is an architectural salvage, vintage home decor warehouse. We like to say it's an extravaganza of all things vintage and architectural. We have about 10,000 square feet of things ranging from doors, windows, barnwood, barn beams, to painted furniture, unpainted furniture, handmade, and DIY accessories. So really a little bit of everything for your home, you can find it here. We originally started as City Salvage, that was in 2012, and we've recently rebranded to Schoolhouse Salvage, and it's just going back to our roots. We first salvaged buildings doing K through 12 public and private schools. We do demolition consulting for those types of buildings, and that's where we get a lot of our salvage over the summer. So we kind of just rebranded, freshened up, expanded, and just went back to our roots being Schoolhouse Salvage. We like to give people the option to dig through those things, and then in the front we like to give people options on how to use them in their home, so that if maybe they have grandma's china, they can stop in and see how they can style it in their home and not throw it out. We also have 10 spaces of pop-up shops here, which are outside makers that come in and set up their handmade and collected items, and so we feel really fortunate in being able to give them space to do that. What we have put together is a curated selection of items from the store. So it's usually going to be 80% salvaged goods. It can be anything from bottles, glassware, anything salvaged, and a few new items in there. And we put together this whole box of items that we show you how to use and display in your home. So it's a release every 2 or 3 months. We're currently shipping out the first release now. And it's just fun. It's things that people come in that may not be able to put together for themselves. We show them how to put it together, and we've been able to send them all over the country, which is really a lot of fun. So with our expansion, we were able to open up a space that can seat probably 20 to 25 people, and we offer a variety of workshops. We do furniture painting, where we teach people how to paint furniture. We do crafty classes, so we make signs, we stencil pillows, we do some small builds, sconces and frames and those types of things. And then we also rent the space out. So if you're looking for space, you can come and see our beautiful space in the back. You can use it for meetings or classes or workshops of your own. I think at the beginning, it started out as a creative outlet. 6 years later, it's very much turned into a business. And with any businesses, you know, there's ups and downs. But for me, the fact that it is able to support my family, and we have 4 kids, and my husband and I both work the business, so that supports a family of 6, and the community has been so instrumental in supporting our business. It's really heartwarming, and you know, you get a sense of accomplishment with that.
Schoolhouse Salvage is located on Tyler Boulevard in Menor.
Okay, after the break, we're heating things up. Welcome back to New Day Cleveland, and I was thinking, maybe it's time you might want to step out of your comfort zone. Well, I've got the place. It's called Larchmere Fireworks, and guess what? It's all about the ancient art of glassblowing. You might like it. Take a look.
Well, we have 2 types of classes. We have various mediums. We can do blacksmithing, glass blowing, or glass fusing. We do individual classes, and we also do group classes. So in an individual class, you would have one-on-one time with the instructor. It's for somebody that really wants to learn the craft.
I'm going to hand this off to you. This is the part where you really get to feel how the glass moves. I just want you to pinch it and pick it and poke it, and just see how it moves. And kind of grab it and twist it all the way out and put it back on itself.
But if you just want the experience, you just want to say, hey, I made this cool thing, we've got group classes, so you can sign up for that. And think paint and sip, where you know a bunch of people come together and everybody's going to make art.
Hold on to that just like that. Keep it turning.
It's molten glass. Nobody tells you play with molten glass, but we do. We say, here, take this tool and play with that molten glass. And it's fun. It's an experience that until you've done it, you You just have no idea. You watch the videos and you think, oh, that doesn't look that hard. I'm sure I could do that. And then you get that rod in your hand and you go, wow, this is way different than I expected.
See, this is the glass melting furnace. Inside here we have a crucible or a bowl of molten glass. It holds about 80 pounds of molten glass. That's about 2,100 degrees Fahrenheit. So if you stand right here, I'll get the first gather for you just to kind of show you where it's at. What I do is I put this on the ledge, I just start to turn, and the glass is right there. And as I turn, it scoops it up just like a honey dipper. I keep turning until it trails off, and I just come out turning the whole time.
My favorite thing is teaching the glass blowing. I love seeing somebody do it for the first time ever and just get the addiction. You know, you really get that bug when you feel glass for the first time. It's something that most people think that it's just completely out of their reach, and we want people to know that it's still something that you can do. It's not an old-fashioned craft. It's actually, you know, very much useful now, including blacksmithing. There's so many things that we can make now that you can't just order. You can't just pre-buy anymore. All of our classes are most ages appropriate. Obviously, we're not going to have a little one gathering out of the furnace, but they can do some of the tool work, and they really love doing that. Our gallery consigns art by local artists. Most of them are friends of ours that we like to support. Typically, it's artists that aren't in a lot of other places. So we're just helping smaller artists that just don't have a place to show. And we want to fill our gallery with beautiful things, in addition to all of the wood, glass and metal that we bring to it.
I see it's still pretty hot, it's still moving around, so I'm going to let this cool down for just a second.
I absolutely love having a backyard hot shop. I love that we've got a place where our friends feel like it's cool to just come and hang out. We don't have to even entertain. It's entertaining in itself.
Larchmere Fireworks is located near Shaker Square on Larchmere Blvd. And if you're looking for a list of classes and events, just head to their website, larchmerefireworks.com. Natalie?
Well, if glass blowing isn't your thing, why not trying your hand at needle art? From sewing to knitting, they have everything at Studio How To.
Well, Studio How To it started actually as a place just for workshops, learning how to make things with your hands, get people back into doing things that are tangible. And then we've expanded when we moved over here to Coventry. We started selling stuff because people would take the classes and say, well, where do I get the stuff now? So we started selling the fabric for our sewing students and the yarn for our knitting students and a few things in between, embroidery. We've got kits and some of the supplies now. Basically, we're kind of a shop up front and a fun workshop space in the back. You can sign up for a class. The classes are usually on weekends. You pre-register. They're kind of a set class. We try to keep them, most of them are a one-shot class, 2 to 4 hours. Definitely our classes are geared toward beginners. And that's kind of why I started this. I had so many friends that never made anything and were always so impressed when I'd be like, oh, I made my bag, or I made my hat or my sweater or something. Or I've made this quilt. And they'd be like, really? Can you teach me? And so I taught some friends and things. And it's just kind of empowering, just, you know, people realizing they can. And yeah, you don't need any creativity or special skills. You know, you just kind of come in and find out that, hey, we're all meant to make things, and here's your chance. So knitting, usually for like if you're taking a class with us, we basically just kind of teach you what is knitting. We have needles, we have yarn, and we turn it into a swatch, which is basically like a square. And then we send you home with a project to kind of get you started. You can make a scarf is usually a pretty normal starting thing. You could make a hat. You could eventually go to a sweater, maybe socks. A lot of people really love fingerless mitts. You can make those pretty easily in a beginner class. Pretty much anything you want to knit, you could learn to knit. In sewing, in our beginner class, we actually do a tote bag, make a reversible tote bag that you can use for books or groceries or whatever. And then we even take you up to doing garments and quilts and things as well. We do embroidery classes, and that's a super popular craft right now as well. It's really, really easy for people who don't like to craft or don't have a lot of space or feel like they aren't really able to do things. It's kind of like drawing with thread. I think it's a really great craft because you can just pick it up, work on it, set it down. There's no real setup, cleanup. That seems to be a big deterrent to people, is I need so many supplies or I need space to do the craft. But embroidery you can just kind of throw in your purse and take with you. It doesn't need a lot of practice. I homeschool my 7-year-old, and he's here with me every day during the week usually. Sometimes he makes an appearance on the weekends. Come in and see us. We love meeting new people, and we're very friendly. It's basically me here all the time. I get a lot of people coming and say, I've seen your store, I've been walking by for a month, and I was too nervous to come in. And honestly, I felt that way about yarn stores before I learned how to knit. And I say, come on in. We'd love to, at least chat. You don't have to buy anything. We just want to get you making, or answer your questions and find out what you'd like to do with your creativity.
Studio How To is located on Coventry Road in Cleveland Heights. When we return, we are taking you to the ultimate man cave.
Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. Okay, we're talking about artsy stuff, right? Well, remember seeing that guy take a piece of clay and turn it into a beautiful bowl or vase, or that lady making a new flower pot out of clay or porcelain? Well, we got just a place where you can give it a try. It's called Brick Ceramics.
Brick is a cooperative ceramic studio and gallery space. We rent workspace to artists and we hold classes, and we have the gallery for shows as well. Brick came from this beautiful space. I saw this space when it was empty and abandoned, and I actually met the family whose great-grandfather built this building, Gerbick's Auto, so Tommy Gerbick, he's still in Cleveland. But I loved all the bricks and the different sizes of bricks in this building, as well as we built our gas kiln, so brick by brick, and we had to move that 3 times in the construction process, so it was like moving tons of bricks, and so I was like, oh boy, I better call this place Brick. Open Studio is for independent work time for anyone open to the public who's had a little bit of clay experience in the past. With the $25 fee that we ask, it includes 3 pounds of clay, which is like a grapefruit size amount of material, and you can buy extra clay from there, $1 per pound. It includes the bisque firing, which is the initial firing, and you can use any of our equipment, wheels, slab roller, slip, underglaze, like whatever we have. Then you'd return for a second open studio to do the glazing session, and that includes all of our glazes and our cone 10 firing. Clay is such an immediate material. I love people to kind of get to feel the texture, and if you haven't experienced that before, it's pretty exciting. Especially the wheel classes, I think people have a ton of fun trying it out. It's just really fun, we have a good time, and what's great with our short-term classes is everything step by step. There's an example, the teachers are there to help you through it, so you never have to feel like you're struggling. Especially our wheel classes are only 6 people max, so it's a really small learning environment where you get a lot of one-on-one attention. So we've got a couple different gallery spaces. Inside of our studio, we have a members sale space, so this is all of the work from different members who rent out our studio. So they're welcome to sell their work here. I like the history of it. It's super old, like such an ancient technique, and we're still using it. Like ancient materials, ancient recipes even. You know, one of my friends uses Egyptian paste, and that's something that literally is like from ancient Egypt times. Like it's so cool that it's such an old sort of craft, but we're still kind of keeping it going. It's like an old technology kind of. It's such a friendly place. There's people sharing ideas, and I think that was really important for me. It's just like the support of the other people while you're making. You get a lot of feedback and things that you don't necessarily get right out of school. Not to mention like the equipment and things that you really lose after graduating from school, and I think I was really trying to provide that. But it's really a unique building. I love this space. It's fun to work in, people like it, and just happy when everyone's happy here.
If you want to check it out, Brick Ceramics is located on East 161st Street, and it is just off of Waterloo Road. And of course, for events and hours, go to their website, brickceramics.com. Okay, are you ready for the ultimate man cave? Well, this is a place where you could work on your bike, or maybe just hang out with a bunch of guys, have a beer. They even smoke cigars. It's called the Skidmark Garage.
Skidmark Garage is a DIY community motorcycle garage where you come in to fix your own bike. There are no mechanics here. It is just a community of members that fix their own bikes and help each other and teach each other and hang out. The idea was born out of necessity. Back in the 90s when I was in my 20s, I had an old Volkswagen that I needed to keep fixing. And my mechanic started lending me tools, and then I started asking if I could borrow the lift. Of course he said no, but that led me to ask myself, where can I go to work on my own vehicle? And I came up with this idea and then sat on it for 20 years and finally took the plunge. You could leave your bike in here for the whole month or the whole year, depending on what you pay for, and then you come and go as you please, and you use all the tools. All the tools are Skidmarks, the welders, the tire changers, the sandblasters. Everything you see is all Skidmarks, and all the bikes are all the members. And I stay open 7 days a week, as many hours as needed, because people have crazy schedules. Some people in here are bartenders, some people are accountants, some people have day jobs, morning jobs, evening jobs. So I want to make sure that every person has the opportunity to bring their bike in here and work on it. Having that community, it just seemed natural to have a place to also hang out. So I built a lounge. I've got the bar, I've got the couches, a pool table. It's definitely as much of a hangout as it is a garage for you to work on your motorcycle. It is appealing to black, white, male, female, gay, straight, rich, poor. The prices aren't such that you have to be wealthy to afford it. I want the regular Joe to be in here to be working on the bike. There's no intimidation. You don't need to know anything about your motorcycle because everyone will help you out. It's an ideal place for everyone to learn how to fix their bike and help someone else fix their bike. On Craigslist and eBay, you can find old Japanese bikes for relatively cheap. And chances are you don't know anything about it. And those people that roll those in here and have no experience, everyone just gravitates towards that person to say, here's how you do this, here's how you do that. It's a huge victory, and it's a victory for the whole garage because every single member has helped that person fix that bike. And so when it gets started, everyone's taking a video, everyone's cheering. Too many people have grown up not having learned how to use tools. You know, shop class does not exist in most high schools anymore. So if people can walk out of here with the confidence to take something apart and put it back together and have it run, then that means when they go home, they can fix something at their house, whether it's electrical or plumbing or carpentry, and that's a life-changing skill. That cliched dream come true thing, it actually happened because, you know, I dreamt of this in 1995 and I've been thinking about it forever and ever and ever. I built it and, you know, it's everyone's third place. There's home, there's work, the third place is here for these people. So we invite everyone and we are accepting of everyone, and it's a safe place for anyone to come and hang out and work on their bike, and to see it all come together exactly as I planned. It's incredibly exciting. I can't wait to get here in the morning, and I don't want to leave in the evening.
Skidmark Garage is open 7 days a week. Still to come, this is a place where you can learn to make your own furniture. Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. Okay, did you ever dream about designing and making your own furniture? Well, this place right here, a community workspace, is just the place where you could do that. It's called Soulcraft Woodshop.
Soulcraft is a community access design and fabrication center. We have a wood shop, a metal shop, a tech lab, and anyone from the public can come in and access our equipment, or can take for their own projects or take classes with us. This is designed for all ages. The philosophy behind it is we've moved away from making and creating things with our hand, and we wanted to create a space, a platform really, to enable people, empower people to be making with their hands again. So we do work with school-age children all the way up to retirees who are now starting new businesses out of here. First-time customer, if you want to access the shop on your own, we have to certify you on the equipment if you don't already know how to use it. And so you could sign up for one of our safety classes or our design build course. But otherwise, come in and just check out the space, meet the community, and tell us about the projects you want to start. You're limited only by the size of the doorways. Our main class, our design build class, students choose their own projects. So they have a problem in their own house. They need a new coffee table. They need a new bookcase. We design the curriculum around your skill level and your project. We work directly with educational institutions. Right now we're working with Design Lab High School, part of the Cleveland Metropolitan School District, and every Wednesday a group of 15 students come in and they're designing their own piece of furniture. The general public can access it. We often have what we call sawdust happy hours, where you start and finish a project in one night. It's kind of just a different kind of night out, an experience. A big piece of what we're doing is not just to learn the skills and the equipment through, say, pre-designed projects, but rather to encourage design thinking, encourage people to use their own creativity. And so even in our most basic course, students create their own design, and we help them work through it. That's 12. You need at least 2 of these boards to get your 19 inches. A lot of our members find interesting sources of wood and do bring their own wood in, but we keep a modest inventory of domestic hardwoods and whatnot that we get from the Amish that you can buy from us. So it's a space really to enable people to be making with their hands. And so we have individual studio spaces for either serious hobbyists or people who actually want to start or grow a company out of here. So we're actually in generation 4 of companies that have operated out of here, then been able to scale up and have their own shop. Soulcraft is the product of a lifelong dream of my co-founder Jim and I. It's what we always wish existed for us. So we wanted to create a space that could enable people to do that for themselves.
Looks like a lot of fun to me, and if you think you'd like to try it, just go to their website. It's soulcraftcle.org for all their events and classes. Natalie?
From making something for your home to making something for you, you can customize skincare products at Handmade Studio.
Handmade Studio is a destination location where people can come and learn how to make handmade products, lotions, soaps, bath bombs, all that good stuff that you love to, I don't know, pamper yourself with. If you're an artisan that you want to make a product for profit, we sell wholesale supplies here so that you can come buy the ingredients and then make things and sell them at craft shows and expos, fundraisers. 20 years ago, my second daughter was born with some disabilities, and I learned how to make soap. A woman was very, very kind and taught me how to make soap. And I was able to make $10,000 that year and avoid bankruptcy, avoid foreclosure. And we thought, why not help other people that were in similar situations? So I started making and selling, and then I started teaching other people in their homes. And I opened a web page, and it just kind of snowballed from there. We have over 50,000 customers now. It's lotions and bath bombs. Everybody loves those Lush bath bombs, and they're beautiful and they make a great product, but we can teach you how to make them better yourself for a lot less money. So it's really fun. We have a whole store, well, probably about 25% of the store that is artisans, their products for sale here, and we let them display their products, soaps, lotions, scrubs. We have a whole line of baby products and maternity, people who are pregnant. So you can buy finished. We'll help you gift it up so you can give it as a gift. Or you can come and do a walk-in project if you're really not sure, and for $5 or $10, we'll walk you through how to make different things. You can pick from the shelf what you want to make, and we'll teach you how to do it. We try to do the walk-in projects in about 20 minutes, maybe 30 minutes, so it's not uncommon for people to maybe pick 1 or 2 projects and do it in less than an hour. It's great for grandparents, Nana and me type projects at the holidays when you want to do something special with your grandchild. We have a lot of grandparents that bring their kids in, or if you're a nanny or a babysitter and you're looking for something fun to do. Well, we have classes, we have sip-in soaps, so you can come and you can register for a class specific. Maybe you want to learn how to make an all-natural soap. Maybe you want to learn to make a coffee sugar scrub, or whatever the classes are for that month. You can come and with 6 to 8 other people learn how to make something with an instructor. Or if you have a group of 6 to 12 friends, you can come and bring, we call them sip and soaps. We provide the soap, you provide the sip. You can bring appetizers and little snacks and have a girl party. I hope at the end of the day, people are inspired to be creative. It just seems like we're so busy in our everyday lives. You know, we're just making ends meet. We're not connecting in a creative way. And so at the end of the day, I hope people can be creative and have fun and inspire kind of that inside happiness that we all have, but kind of gets suppressed.
The Handmade Studio is open Monday through Friday. They are in Independence. After the break, we are doing a bit of painting. Welcome back to New Day Cleveland and our DIY show. Hope you're enjoying yourself so far. How about this one? Turning your favorite fragrance into a candle. You can do it at the Candle Studio.
The Candle Studio is an interactive candle company. So what we do is we help you design and customize your own soy candle or home and body fragrance. So you would come in here and peruse the wall of candles. We have over 85 fragrances, and then you would jot them all down, and then we, as a scent stylist, we have a great team. We kind of narrow it down to 2 or 3 fragrances, and then we kind of help you decide what you're going for, and then your candle is then worked on, and then you leave the store with a really great soy product.
So if you've never been in before, we suggest that you smell as many as you'd like, and then
Our staff is known to be a scent stylist. So what they do is they're very well versed in knowing pretty much exactly what to mix and how much to mix it. We have a full liquor license. So we have a great variety of wines, craft beers. We have a great sangria. If you want a non-alcoholic version, we have a great local company called Norca and from West Akron. They offer ginger ale, we have root beer, cherry strawberry sodas. So we have it all for if you want non-alcoholic, we have that as well. If someone at the Candle Studio does not want to pour a candle, we have other options as well. We have reed diffusers. A lot of people that travel love our room sprays because they spray their room down when they come into that hotel. Sometimes the hotels don't smell the best when you come in. So we have room sprays, we have fragrance oil bottles. So the Candle Studio customizes pretty much whatever you would like. We have small jars, medium jars. You could put your company logo on the top or the side. We could do a monogram for a wedding. We can do pretty much whatever you want to come up with for weddings, bachelorette parties, school events, company networking parties, pretty much anything that is able to be done, we could pretty much do it on a smaller scale. We love the fact where you could come in and have a cocktail, pour your own candle and make your own scent identity and leave knowing that it is purely chemical free. All of our products have no chemical on top. The wick itself it's cotton, so there's no metal in the wick. So you're really leaving with a great candle.
The Candle Studio is in Pinecrest, so it's right there in Orange Village. You can make a day of it there as well. All right, now we are headed to Medina. If you want a fun night out with friends and maybe even take something home that you create, here is Board and Brush.
Board and Brush is a DIY instructional workshop. You come in, you pick your sign ahead of time, and you create it from raw wood from start to finish. You know, with all the HGTV shows going on with the Chip and Joanna Gaines and the farmhouse chic, we show you how to do that rustic look to your wood. You actually need no artistic ability. You can come in and have never done anything like this before. It is instructional. We take you through each step. We show you how to get that rustic look with the hammer and the meat tenderizer. And it's a stencil, so when you go to paint it, there's no freehand. There's over 60 paints to choose from, and there's over 200 signs in our gallery. So when you sign up, like I said, there is something for everybody when you sign up. If you've never done it, if you're not sure, we also have a punch card, so you get your 6th one for free because you do get the bug once you come in. you do get the bug to come back. No two pieces will look the same because when you come in and it's raw wood, you choose how to distress it as much or as little as you want, and you also choose the stain. You can do techniques on it to manipulate the way the stain looks, and then you can choose a different color. So you could have two people doing the same thing, but it would come out looking completely different. The vibe is a lot of fun, you know, because a lot of people come in and they're a little anxious because they've never done anything like that before, which I can definitely relate to. And they come in, we have the music going, and once they start, because we do start with the hammer and the meat tenderizer, takes a little bit of the nerves out, and then they can realize that they can definitely do it. Well, a lot of times people come in if they're having a girls' night or a date night. We do fundraisers, we do team buildings, private events, kid parties. We just had a Girl Scout troop come in, and that was a lot of fun. And it was fun because they all chose something different, and they were just a great group. The skyline is very popular because we do offer many different skylines, but the Cleveland skyline is definitely popular. A lot of our newer things are popular. The trays are popular. Really is a mixed bag of nuts because there's just so many to choose from. If you're following our Facebook page, we always do a contest with the new releases that people can get involved in, and we always give away a free workshop. Well, if you're not sure what you want to do, everything is in a category online. So if you're thinking, I want to do something for my kitchen, the bar, the pool, everything has its own category, so it's very easy to navigate on our website. These are the bonus designs that we recently started offering. If you attend a workshop and you want to make 2 signs, it's an additional $15, and you can choose your stain and your paint while you're here, and you would go home with 2 signs. Definitely give us a try. It really will, it's an experience in itself, but you really will leave with something worthy of your walls.
Board and Brush has locations in Medina and in Westlake. If you'd like a list of their classes, you can visit their website, boardandbrush.com. We're back with more DIY after this.
Welcome back to New Day Cleveland. Have you ever wanted to create a one-of-a-kind work of art that you could wear? Well, I've got a place. It's on the east side. It's called Flux Metal Arts.
Well, Flux Metal Arts is a working jewelry and metal studio. And we do classes and workshops in jewelry and metalworking, and up front in the gallery we offer the artworks of 24 local artists from the area. Well, flux has the Latin root meaning to flow, and so with that it's also a substance that we use for metalworking and soldering to make the solder flow. And so Flux Metal Arts seemed appropriate. I like to play with fusing silver, so I can get extra, interesting texture and just kind of the tension that can happen with fusing. So to fuse silver, you have to heat it hot enough to the point that it just starts to get ready to melt, and then you got to pull away your torch before it actually melts into a big ball. So I like to play with just experimenting with that and seeing what I can do with it. Having 24 different artists in the gallery, we have a lot of jewelry, but we also do have some wall work, small scale that people can use in their homes. During the week, we have what's called open studio. So people can come in and use our studio. They can use our tools and our equipment. Gives them a nice environment to work where they're away from the distractions of home. With our classes, we have an introduction to jewelry class that we run on a regular basis that runs on Thursday evenings for a period of 6 weeks. And so you can always check our schedule for that. We also have many half-day make and takes or full-day make and takes where people can learn a technique and leave wearing something. You always got to take that first step and take a class. When you take a class, what is great is you have somebody that can mentor you and look over your shoulder and make wonderful suggestions as far as how they can design a piece, or just ergonomics even, like when setting up a studio at home. And there's just so much to gain from taking a class from the teacher.
Flux Metal Arts is located in Mentor on Mentor Avenue. Natalie?
Let's get cozy, shall we, and knit something warm. Brenda from Cast On Yarn will show you how to do it. Here's a look.
Cast On Yarn Studio is the name of my little yarn shop here. The meaning of Cast On to me means new project, new beginning. I love all things about yarn. I do. I started knitting as a young girl, and I just really wanted to open up and share my yarn thoughts and my talents with other people. There's many different types of yarn. There's many different fibers of yarn. One of the most popular ones right now are hand dyes, and they come in a variety of weights. A lot of people like to use sock yarn in fingering weight for shawls and socks and sweaters. I have yarn from all over. I'm very excited because I have a local indie dyer, and we do projects each month. We get together and collaborate a little bit and talk about it. It's really fun. Knitting is 2 needles. Crochet is 1 hook. It's a hook. Well, this is a circular needle, and I'm knitting in the round because I'm making a hat. So I'm doing a 1x1 rib, which means I'm going to knit 1, purl 1. Purl is forward, knitting is back. I'm making a ribbing, it's a stitch. And I'm knitting continental, it's a European style. This is cashmere. My passion is to teach the beginner. I love to have a new person come in. I also can teach an intermediate level to advanced. I also have some other teachers too. This is a single crochet, and this is the beginner, like an entry level. Once you get this down pat, you can learn. I mean, there's so many other stitches. So it just produces a fabric. This is a cotton yarn. I also have a lot of men that are very good knitters and crocheters, and they are great designers too. So yeah, so you just keep going, keep wrapping and pulling it through this hook. It's very zen. It's very therapeutic. It's very, very relaxing. There's always new patterns. There's always new yarns, and the things that the designers come up with to incorporate the yarns it's just amazing. Come and touch and feel. That's part of the process, is the feeling, touching, looking, all of the different colors.
Well, there you have it. Cast On Yarn Studio is located in Vermilion.
So you're almost speechless. You're jazzed about this thing.
I am. I hope that you are as inspired as I am by the show. I want to try my hand at everything we've seen.
I'm here at Soulcraft, and I'm thinking, come up here with a 6-pack of beer,
yes,
stay about 6 months, and walk out of here, and I know how to do something.
You can take classes here. I mean, all these classes that you can take, you will leave a much better person than you were before you started.
So if you want to do this, you want to give this a try, just go to our website, pick one of them out, have some fun.
I'm ready to sign myself up for several of these classes. I'm going to watch the show back a few more times.
Believe it. I'm David Moss.
I'm Natalie Herbig.
And we'll see you in the next
New Day Cleveland.
So long.